I know you've been wondering why sometimes when you ask your sibling to do something, you get resistance in return. Hi, I'm Celestine and this is Sibling Matters, and this channel is to discuss or teach ways in which we can biblically relate with our sisters and our brothers. Sometimes as older siblings, you tell your siblings to do something maybe mom and dad ask, or you just want them to do something because it's the right thing to do. And I can tell you one of the reasons they give you resistance. They don't want to listen to you. One of the reasons, or three of the reasons, if I should say, is your words, your tone, and most importantly, your heart posture. I know you'll be like, I know the tone part. I understand why it would be my tone or my words per se, but why the heart posture? Don't forget, as Christian, Jesus said that out of the abundance of your heart. Or if you think too much, let me just paraphrase it. If you think too much about something in a certain way or in a certain perspective, it's gonna flow out of your mouth. You're gonna say it, right? So let's look at Proverbs chapter 15 and watch what it says. It reads, "A soft answer turns away wrath, but grievous words stirs up anger." A soft answer has to do with your words, your tone, and your heart. And the thing about your tone is that it portrays what you're thinking or how you perceive the person. For example, if you're talking to like your friend, your very good friend, because you have this softness in your heart toward them, you will talk to them like lovingly. Even like you would talk to them like in a very friendly manner, like, "Hey bro," or "Hey sis," or "Hi girl," you know what I mean, right? But if you think about how you talk to your siblings because you see them every day, you would take them for granted. That's why you're like, they sometimes seem to be like a nuisance to you. You're like, "Oh my gosh, like I have to see this every day. Oh my gosh, she's so annoying. She's so annoying. Like, what are you doing? What's that sound? Stop yelling." Like all this little stuff. And the weird thing about it, we do the same thing and they do the same thing, and we see them and we say they are annoying, right? But my point is, because they're there, like they're in front of you every time, you take their presence for granted. And I know there's the famous saying that familiarity brings contempt. It's very true, and this is one of the ways you can guard your heart. So when dealing with your siblings, you have to use like wisdom. As a Christian, right, as a follower of Christ, you have to use wisdom. First, you have to deal with your heart, because if your heart posture or your perception toward them is anger, annoyance, or like arrogance, like "I'm the boss of you, I'm older than you, so you have to listen," when you speak to them, they wouldn't only hear your words or your tone, they would hear your heart speaking to them. That's why it's really, really, really crucial. And one thing I want you to remember when you're talking to, or when you're conversing, or when you're like communicating with your siblings, is remember that, one, they are not gonna stay kids forever. Or if you guys are already growing up, they're not gonna remain young forever. They're going to be like older kids or teenagers one day, or they're going to be maybe adults one day. For example, for me, I have two little brothers. They're 8 and 5, and I'm like 10 years plus older than them. Because of their age now, of course they're gonna be a little annoying, right? Especially 5 and 8, like you'll get my point, right? They're jumpy, they're playful. So when you tell them to do something, and sometimes they're like, "You're not the boss of me," all those kind of like challenges. If you're not careful, what you're doing now is what they're going to call their childhood. So when you're speaking to them, when they grow up, they're going to be like, "Oh, my sister was like this to me. Oh, my brother was like this to me." You have to remember that you're making memories with them. You have to remember that you are part of their childhood. For example, me, I was living with my grand aunt when I was little. I wasn't with my parents. Because of that, the older kids who are now my age, when they were taking care of me remembering them, I was like, they were so mean to me. But as I grew up, I realized that it was because I was actually kind of annoying. The thing is that they're like open books, right? Whatever you do to them, they're gonna do it to you. So you have to watch, you have to use wisdom. You have to be gentle with them. You have to be extremely patient with them. That's why your words matter. That's why your heart posture matter. To continuously remember that they're kids. They're learning. Whatever attitude you see them portraying is from what they learned from school. Probably something they saw you do, or they saw their parents do, or they watched from TV. They just didn't like take stuff from out of the sky and be like, I want to act. Or sometimes they just have like a very weird thought. Out of curiosity, they decide to do it, and you're like, oh my gosh, what is going on in your head? The point is, they're kids. Or that's for the kids. But for teenagers, though, I don't know. But I do think that because they are getting to understand things, and I wouldn't blame puberty for this, because sometimes teenagers just want to do stuff because they want to do it, right? But the point I'm trying to reach out is use wisdom to communicate with your siblings. Treat them like the people you love. Like, the thing is that you love them. When they leave you, you miss them. I do. I miss my brothers, even though they're annoying, but when they go out for sleepovers with their friends, or when they go to our cousin's house, I'm at home, I'm doing the chores, and then I remember, oh my gosh, like just the fact that I'm not hearing the sound of their voice in the house, the liveliness, I'm like, oh my gosh, I miss my brothers. Or just the fact that I get to cuddle with them before the sleep. With all of that, use wisdom, guard your heart when speaking to them. Keep the good memories of them. Remember that they're kids, that time is going to fly by, and it's not going to be the same. And one more thing I got to tell you though, I know you'll be like, but sometimes they resist me because they're rude, or they are like, they don't want to listen, or they're arrogant, or they think that I'm not the boss of them. Yes, you kind of are the boss of them. Sometimes when I'm speaking with my brother, I would tell him that, hey, I'm your older sister, so yes, you are supposed to listen to me, right? Because like, he's looking up to me. As much as he's looking at my parents, he's not really looking at what they're doing. He's literally looking at what I am doing, because I am young also. So because he's watching me, I have to be careful what I do. Plus, whatever bad stuff I do, he's gonna copy it. And I know you'll be like, and then sometimes when I tell him to do something, he's like, you're not the boss of me. Or sometimes he's talking like really rudely toward me. And when I use harsh tones toward him, he uses it back to me. So my message to you, as a close up to this whole to this video, is that take the plank out of your eye. I know you're like, they're rude, they're annoying, they disturb me, they don't listen, they're always yelling, or I hate when they ask me for something, I want them to go to their mom. I feel the same way. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not your mom, like, go to your mom. But then I remember I'm the older sister, I'm the one who's always there. The thing is, they're used to seeing you around. They trust you. The fact that they're asking you for food, the fact that they're asking you to make them something, it means they trust you enough to make it good for them. Sometimes mom and dad isn't going to understand what they want. For me, I like to eat weird stuff. I would like, let's say for example, I took a slice of bread or 2 slices of bread, literally put it in the air fryer, like literally, I put it in the air fryer, and I toasted it in the air fryer. Who does that? We do have a toaster, by the way, but I put it in the air fryer to toast it. Doesn't make sense, right? Because I just wanted that kind of crispness. I didn't want it like, you know how the toaster does it, right? And then you see the crumbs kind of falling up. I didn't want it that way. So I put it in the air fryer, let it sit for like, a minute or so, and it was already brown. So I took it out, spread some butter on it, put some honey on it, and I made, literally, that was a snack I made. They came, can I have some? Like, can I taste that? And me, I don't want to make it for them. But then you have to remember that they trust you to make something good for them. That's why they come to you. So take the plank out of your eye. then you have compassion enough to take the little tiny specks out of their eye, because they're basically learning from you, and also maybe learning from their environment too. And I hope this message is enough to give you some wisdom. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, press the notification bell to be the first to get the next video. Stay blessed.